Hello everybody, in this video we would like to discuss the differences between modern and retro gaming. Now, as everyone pretty much knows, for the past 5 decades video games have grown immensely. Not only have they been growing in terms of technology, but also in terms of the practices that have been taken. In this video we will be discussing 3 topics within 3 different frameworks. A third place is a social setting away from home and work. It's a place that is welcoming and community based. In these places people can relax and socialise with others. Examples include coffee shops and pubs. Arcades were an example of a popular third place in the 80s where people came to play popular games such as Pac-Man. In Pac-Man you control a yellow character. The aim of the game is to eat all the dots and to avoid getting eaten by 4 ghosts. Another big part of the game is to beat the high scorer. People of all ages and genders came to the arcades to have fun playing games as a community. Pac-Man was a particular game that brought people of all backgrounds to the arcade due to the bright colours in the game and not having violent themes. This made the game more appealing to kids and girls, which made it a game that everyone could enjoy. There was a casual and fun vibe which made people at ease. It was a natural place to connect and make new friends. This resulted in large groups of people joining together. They had a sense of belonging by sharing a common interest and one-off moments live in person. This created an electric atmosphere from players competing against each other to newly made friends cheering each other on. Often it naturally led to people chatting and even becoming lifelong friends. People bonded in many ways, including teaching strategies and celebrating beating new high scores. It was revolutionary, as it was one of the earliest and rare cases of gaming bringing people together socially. The game was simple to learn how to play. This made it accessible to players of every level and made the arcade an inclusive setting. In terms of third place theory, World of Warcraft compared to Pac-Man is more of a virtual hangout spot. Released in 2004, World of Warcraft is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Earning experience to level up your character and become a stronger character are the main points of the game. Players play with each other online. Despite playing the game from their homes, players feel like they are connected to each other in a virtual world where they meet up with each other to relax and interact with each other. It's very different to Pac-Man because in World of Warcraft the gamer only needs an internet connection to enter the third place. This makes World of Warcraft way more accessible to people from anywhere in the world. In World of Warcraft, players can chat with each other while playing the game and feel like a team member and like someone who belongs by joining guilds and defeating raids together. According to a researcher from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, people are brought together through World of Warcraft who without the game would have never met and become friends with each other. The game itself encourages social interaction. Players tend to join for the love of the game, but then stay and come back for the social connection. Groups of players join together to form a community in the game called the Guild. They team up in the game to defeat strong and hard enemies. This forces players to chat with strangers, which can lead to long-term friendships, although it might be rare that the same people who play together in World of Warcraft meet up in real life. Friendships made in World of Warcraft community are not always very deep, but they do still increase the player's social circle and make connections that matter to people and might give people a purpose in life. Virtual rights are defined as human rights and legal rights that allow individuals to access, use, create and publish digital media or to access and use computers, other electronic devices and telecommunications networks. And digital identity is defined as the recorded set of measurable characteristics by which a computer can identify an external entity. Video games throughout the years have used both of these, and in a bunch of ways they have evolved. Developed by Origin Systems as part of the Ultima series, it was well known for its combat and environments. The game offered a vast online world for the user base to explore in, and it wasn't completely black and white with the actions you could do or the classes you could be. The game offered a massive array of different classes you could be. The game let you do a myriad of different tasks and actions, and most intriguing of all, the game truly felt like a virtual world. Even when you were offline in the game, your creations could still be interacted with. Because of this, the things you made had more of an impact in the game. It felt like a world where you could do things in real life, like get drunk or go into government, and as a result it feels more immersive. The developers of the game spent a majority of their time working on how they were able to combine their series of role-playing games with the MMORPG genre at a time when many games of that type were text-based. Although many of those games attempted to make things more realistic and immersive, none of them would actually feature the same level as Ultima Online did. The game even had an ecology system related to the plants growing and the animals eating the plants or other animals. The animals, like dragons, felt just as smart as the human players, to the point that they would actually be able to survive on basic needs. This gave players multiple ways they could treat the animals, so they could either kill them or herd them, depending on what the task is. When the beta build was made to the public, everyone played the game and killed everyone and everything. As a result, the team had to retool the entire system. In the game, players can create their own avatars using skins, and the game is an open world battle royale where the last man standing wins. It is a social game in that it encourages creativity and interaction within its community. In terms of virtual identity, it handles those in different ways, one of these ways being with the avatars that you can create in game. These avatars felt much more of a higher level than other games that preceded it, as they included things such as user preferences, personalities, goals, different skins that you can buy, and the dances that you can give yourself. With the advancements of graphics and hardware, it has gotten to a point where avatars can easily become human-like in both appearance and interaction, and all of this is emphasized with its creativity it pushes onto people. Thanks to Fortnite Creative, it leaves the users with the ability to create their own maps, modes, skins, stories, and they can build up anything that they can possibly imagine. Thanks to the game's engine, Unreal Engine, it has reached a point where the users can work on their own works and hotspots, and helping all of this is the game's competitive atmosphere, where the player base really wants to win in their battles. Additionally, the game features an in-game store where the players can buy additional skins and maps. Because the game is free to play, the microtransactions the game features do not feel insulting, and the game features its own currency that the players can use to buy. It adds to the virtual identity of the player in that Fortnite feels like a huge world, in that there are multiple game modes, especially with the addition of other modes to rival other games such as Lego Fortnite or Fortnite Festival, which are especially helpful for players who want to play games similar for free. When video game series became large and popular enough, inevitably there will be fan bases to follow, and there have been a numerous amount of video game franchises that have grown to be beloved fan favourites, and as a result, many fan works and events that people have participated in. The Legend of Zelda is a video game series created by Nintendo, which started all the way back in 1986, starting off on the Nintendo Entertainment System, with many of the games in the series receiving critical acclaim. It has become one of Nintendo's most popular video game franchises, and there are many reasons as to why it is considered as such. The gameplay of exploring in dungeons, puzzle solving, and action has proven to be a popular combination, as are the cast of different characters that are featured. Because of the game's devoted fandom, and the fact that the games have a strong sense of story and fantasy, there have been plenty of fan works of the series throughout the years. An example of this was when it was announced in 2023 that a Legend of Zelda movie was in the works. This inspired many a fan to create their own trailer in different styles, such as a movie trailer retelling Ocarina of Time in the style of Studio Ghibli. There has also been a fan trailer reimagining it as a dark fantasy film from the 80s, and it appears that it's not only adult fans today who really love sharing their fan works online. Even as far back as 1989, when the series was only 3 years old and only had 2 games, a child aged 7 wrote a short story based on the game. Although the story was simple, it was still considered an achievement, considering how early on in its life it was. Zelda was inspired by various other influences, such as Arthurian legends or Western folklore and fantasy. The settings in the very first game on the Nintendo Entertainment System appear to be inspired by medieval Europe, as well as the adventure of Link's story being helping a cursed sleeping princess inspired by Sleeping Beauty. Minecraft is a sandbox game, which is a game with no goals. In Minecraft, the user uses blocks to make anything that your imagination can think of, from buildings and cities to making theme parks and pixel art. Without the fandom, the game wouldn't reach its heights of being one of the most popular games in the world. 65% of children aged 4 to 13 have a fandom and seek out communities that share their interests. Minecraft is an immersive identity for fandom of the game. The game extends much further than the gameplay because of the fans. 46% of gamers put creation, imagination, and self-expression as their main reason for gaming. Minecraft is often used as a medium for art and architecture. These creations are regularly shared on popular platforms like Reddit, where they share their art as part of a strong bonded community. Without participation culture, the game wouldn't be what it is today. Fans make new servers, which add unique minigames into the game. Fan art is a big part of participation culture in Minecraft. These are often shared online and inspire others to make their own art. This gives Minecraft a life outside of the game through other creative mediums. Content sharing is another big part of participation culture through YouTube and Twitch. Here fans watch others play the game. A Let's Play from PewDiePie in 2019 brought back a huge interest in the game. Minecraft was the most watched game on YouTube in 2019. Many fans in the community joined together to try and recreate whole cities. The largest real-world replica is New York City, covering over 10 square kilometers. This shows that teamwork and collaboration is a big part of the game and proves that the game brings people together. Modern digital third places include more people from all over the world, and people there can make strong connections with strangers that they might have never met otherwise. Whereas older third places like the arcade is a public place where people meet in real life, and they offer a much better connection as they involve face-to-face interactions. This can develop into making best friends for life with others in the local area who share the same interests. In both older and modern gaming, it is the fans and the community that makes the games such as The Legend of Zelda and Minecraft. Zelda fans create stories and art inspired by the fantasy world in the game, whereas Minecraft gamers build, modify and share their creations globally. Both games bring people together. This turns it into something much bigger than just a game. We could reach a point where we can not only interact in games in virtual reality like in VR chat, but also have built-in stories that you can properly walk into and buy things with virtual currency, interact with people, and properly play the games and sports. Interest in physical third places like arcades could grow, again if arcades include old and modern games there. This would promote multi-generational interaction, which would bring back inclusivity into the arcades. Does competition in the game ruin the collaboration spirit in the community? What will third places look like in the future? Do online games teach social skills? Games like World of Warcraft teach online communication, but are these digital skills helpful in real life?